and I talked about how much we're enjoying all the shark coverage last week because there was a ton of it.
It's July, so everyone's got their shark stuff going.
All right.
But there is official Shark Week at the end of the month. So
Shark Week's on Discovery, is that what it is?
I believe so.
Because I think Nat Geo had like their own version of Shark Week.
Yeah.
It was like every program was sharks.
Yeah, well, one of my friend's kids loves putting together like Lego sets with me whenever they come over to the house. So I was trying to find something shark related that we could have some fun with.
Okay.
When we invite everybody over, and I ordered something that was a shark mural, and I wanted to open it to see what is this gonna be before I invite the chaos of asking, a 5-year-old to build it with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I started building. I was like, this is not for 5-year-olds. Like I knew it immediately, so I just did it myself. Yeah, but we got a couple other things that we'll be doing with the kids here in a couple weeks. But yeah, we had the birthday celebration over the weekend, and that was about it. Watched a lot of FIFA when I could.
Yeah, I didn't watch any FIFA.
Yeah, with the All-Star break, there wasn't like baseball was on.
No, not
for
much.
The whole week. So I watched a little bit of the Open when we got to the weekend, but yeah.
All right.
Just chilled, basically.
I did watch the All-Star game, at least once I get off the air. I watched the latter portion of it.
Right.
But, I don't know. It wasn't a big sports weekend. Did watch some of the Open on Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, caught it when I was in here on Thursday and Friday. And Scotty Scheffler can't make putts anymore, apparently. I mean, of any kind of length. And
that story at 17 yesterday was almost an all-timer.
Yeah.
Like if he had found a way to birdie 18 after that would have been crazy.
Right. So he had the 2, and then he hit it like I hit it off the tee on 18. 4 right. Look out over in that area. So E.T., any good goings on in your world this weekend?
This past weekend, Aiden and I kind of just hung out. It rained.
Okay.
I watched a new TV, a Netflix series. It got me good. It was a good one. I Will Find You.
Oh, you did watch that. Did you like it?
Oh, yeah. It was
okay.
good.
Because if you like that, Harlan Coben is the guy who wrote that story.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's how it is. And I think he writes, he's a book writer, right?
Okay.
And they take a lot of his stuff. There are at least 4 or 5 other series on Netflix by him.
Okay. I'm going to have to check them out.
I honestly felt that was like not one of the strongest ones he's done. So you got a lot to look forward to then if you like that. I mean, it's not bad. You know,
it's a good sign.
And to each your own. Yeah, you're going to have something to look forward to.
Y'all know me and watching TV.
Believe me, I know.
I still got to. I think I might have one of Tony's DVDs at the crib.
Yeah. I've only let him borrow The Godfather now for about a decade. It's getting close to a decade.
Have you watched it at least?
No.
It's too long, man. It's too long.
It's too long. Don't go see the Odyssey, apparently.
Yeah. It's got the full 3 hours.
Now you get I watched what came on the other day, Avengers Infinity War, which I mean, I could watch that movie every time it's on.
Right, yeah.
And then I'm looking and like, I was kind of in and out, wasn't sitting down with it and until like the final 30 minutes. And they're like, coming up next, guess what? Endgame, right? 3.5 hours blocked out on your television with all the commercials. Yeah, back to back, man.
I think they need to bring back intermissions. Like, if people are going to keep making those, like, epic length movies, if you're going to have a 3-hour movie, then an hour and a half in, design an intermission for everyone to get up.
Is that why you didn't go to see the Odyssey?
It is. And I know the Nolan movie thing. It's like, there's no 5 minutes where I can just get up and leave the theater for The Dark Knight and not come back and be like, what's the Joker up to? Like, what is happening right now in this moment? I know that is the case, so it's not like there's a natural break in that movie, but I'm like, I know I want to see it on the big screen because it is completely filmed in the XD. I want it on the biggest, loudest theater that I can find. I'm going to give into it, but this weekend I was like, I just don't have the 3 hours to give it this weekend.
Well, you know what the question is now has become boxers or briefs, and the answer is depends, right? And that'll get you through 3 hours. A rumor that it'll get you through 3. I can still make it through a 3-hour movie, but I got a pit stop right before liftoff. Right?
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
That's the other thing. They need to let you know when does the movie actually start, not the previews.
Oh, yeah, there's and I'm at the stage now. Like I don't almost want to see previews anymore. Because I don't want to spoil the movies that I like. I don't like if I'm watching a series. And it's on every week, I don't watch the track. Like, here's what's coming up next week. No, I'm going to watch it next week. I don't want you to know, like, oh, yeah, I remember that scene when you showed me. I don't. So, obviously, it's effective, and people like the teasers, and maybe they forget the details.
Sure.
But I have definitely, I know what I want to watch. And
but with the whole movie theater experience now, you can buy your tickets online. Your seat is saved. Everything is, you don't have to wait to do any of those things.
No.
So let me know what time the film actually starts, because that's what time I want to show up, especially if it's a 3-hour movie. I don't want the extra 20 minutes before that movie. That's madness.
Tony Smith coming in angry today, ladies and gentlemen.
It cost me the Odyssey this weekend. It was just too much.
You cost you the Odyssey
I know.
this
I'll go
weekend.
do it sometime this week.
You
I know
you
I
can
will.
get in there, and once the previews start, you can head to the restroom, right, and kind of use that as like a indication of the timing
Still
of things.
3 hours. That's a long time.
All right, man, we're getting older. Here's the thing, Tone. 9 days is not that long. 3 hours can be a long time. 9 days is going to go quick, man. Jags are going to be on the field for training camp in a week from Wednesday.
Yep.
So we're going to be out there next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday doing live shows at the Miller Electric Center. Broiling, I am sure, but we'll have a tent. But, the tent is only good if the sun's working with you on the angle. You know what I mean? Like, those things aren't always perfect. So, hopefully the equipment won't overheat. Hopefully the hosts won't overheat, most importantly. And today, along the lines of Jaguar football, we got a lot of different little tidbits. There are a lot of these training camp storylines. What do you need to know about every team around the National Football League? Well, we hope we know most of what we need to know here about the Jacksonville Jaguars. But today's question of the day, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate, who's replacing those double-digit touchdowns from Travis Etienne from last year? Okay, he scored 13. Now, Bashal Tootin had 7, right? Maybe you think it's him. But we also brought in Chris Rodriguez, and he kind of profiles as a short yardage specialist, which can translate to goal line. We've seen last year Parker Washington score more touchdowns than Brian Thomas, but Brian Thomas also has a 10-touchdown season under his belt. So those are the 4 guys that we put in the poll today. Out of those 4, which one's the most likely to score 10 or more rushing and receiving TDs this year? Thomas, Washington, Rodriguez, Tootin. You can vote accordingly, the way you see fit. And you can stream the program, as always, on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, on the 1010XL 92.5 FM apps. You can listen to the radio and listen to the program, which is nice. Or you can find us on the socials at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at IME2. The T.
Come on, somebody.
There we go. E.T. is back, ladies and gentlemen, for the whole week. We are threatened with his presence. So looking forward to that for not only the next 2 hours, but all week long. At least I'm looking forward to the next 2 hours, because I'll be out for the rest of the week. So you all can look forward to that as well as Tony and company. You got anybody coming in for the next few days? Any plans?
No plans for tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, Jamal St. Cyr, and then Friday it'll be
Tommy Mack.
Tommy Mack.
And tomorrow you'll have, I'm sure, a one of our last remaining Tuesday top 5s.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to do something around Trevor Lawrence with where he showed up on the list. He's been here for 5 years now. We can come up with something around that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's coming up. But if you want to get in today, you know the ways to do it. 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines or on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Here we go. Jaguars Today kicking off a fresh week. Last week without any training camp for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then we're into the season. This is Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here from my friends at Dandy Foods, locally owned and operated since way back when, 1956, 70 years ago. Danny's been in business for 7 decades because they do it right. They're not just a great local company, which they are a great local company, but they're great because they don't settle for just good enough. They keep trying to raise the bar. Danny's sandwiches and subs always improve over time. They tinker with the recipes, and look, when they find one, they're going to absolutely lean into it, but they keep adding to the menu using the highest quality ingredients. They locally source them as often as possible. They give you fantastic variety, deliver fresh daily, and yes, they keep the prices in check as well. Great value compared to the drive-thru, fast, fresh, always tasty, and waiting for you in the cold cases at convenience stores like Circle K all over town. So anytime you're driving around Duval and that hunger hits you, know that Dandy name's got your back. And do what I do, folks. Go out and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Like your kid's Little League team.
Let's play ball!
A lot of passions.
Says who? Says me. I'm the captain.
Questionable fundamentals.
You ever see him play?
And playing for the love of the game.
The way I see it, we're ambassadors of the game.
1010XL. Real people, real sports. Real Duval.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Picket here for nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools, summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
He's the former Jacksonville beat reporter, and he still knows your team well.
Oh, you don't say.
He's Pete Prisco. Thursday afternoons on The Frangie Show.
This I gotta see.
Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
It feels like every home services company in Jacksonville has been bought out by some big out-of-town firm, but not Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. We're still locally owned, still right here in Northeast Florida. That means no call centers and no corporate runaround when you call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Just experienced pros who live here, work here, and stand behind every job. From simple leaks to full pipe relining, you're getting real solutions from a team that actually cares about the community we all live and work in. Make the superior choice when you need a plumber. Request an estimate at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Summer is made for road trips, beach days, and family vacations. Before you hit the road, make sure your vehicle is ready at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their trusted technicians can handle your oil change, fluids, filters, and more, all while you stay comfortably in your vehicle. No appointment needed. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and named #1 quick lube for customer service by Forbes, it's easy to see why drivers choose Valvoline. Get road trip ready today at Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds with as much as 40% off everything in the store. Maybe it's time to treat yourself to a fabulous fashion ring, necklace, or bracelet. You can do it now and save as much as 40% off Beard's already unbeatable prices. And don't forget, Beard's is the town center's locally owned diamond superstore. Don't settle for the corporate chain store experience when you can get the value, service, and attention you deserve. Don't miss Christmas in July. Save up to 40% exclusively at Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Frank Frangie here. 1010XL wants to know who you are. We are conducting a listener profile survey. What home improvement practices do you plan to do? What do you like best about us? All you have to do is go to 1010XL.com and fill out the survey. You could win tickets to the Jags home opener, Gator football, and Jumbo Shrimp tickets, or great 1010 swag. Just go to 1010XL.com and enjoy letting us know more about you so we can do a better job of serving you.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
All right, Jaguars Today, ET back in control. Tony Smith back in the co-host seat. I'm Mike Dempsey. We're all together until noon, and then we'll break it up again. It's that time of year where you shake and bake a little bit with the lineup.
Get it back together for camp.
Speaking of shake and bake.
Speaking of shake and bake, my league, my fantasy league with all my friends is named Shake and Bake.
Oh, okay.
And it renewed this morning. Like, it's just too much shake and bake going on at the same time, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever used, like, shake and bake, actually?
No.
Use it, like, actually, like, they always show you on the commercial, you put, like, a chicken leg in a bag with the shake and bake, and you shake it up.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I've never done that, but I'm sure it's delicious, but just never done it. So anyway, I was thinking more shake and bake from Talladega Nights, right?
Absolutely.
Will Ferrell's got that new show out. I feel like if I had picked this show, and I said, all right, honey, this is going to be like one of my picks, right? Because we try to alternate about what we watch, right?
Okay.
To be very
So
fair.
you torture one another. You just trade torture.
No, we know what each other like. And there's going to be things where she goes, you know what? You don't have to wait for me on that one. You can just go ahead and watch that on your own. And so she, we have certain designated days that are our TV days. So one of my TV days, she said, well, why don't we watch The Hawk, the new Will Ferrell show? Thinking I'll probably come up with something worse left to my own devices, that at least we can settle on this. I'm pretty sure had I picked it and she didn't, we would have watched an episode of that, and that would have been the end of it. But no, she was committed to the bit.
Okay.
And so we went through that whole thing, and I can't get that time back now is the thing about it. That time was going to go somewhere anyway. But,
right, yeah.
I spent it like 30 to 35 minutes at a time watching not very impressive golf series with Phil. It had a couple of moments, but that's about the extent of it.
I was wondering why I was seeing him all over the place here the last couple of weeks. I was like, he's got to be promoting something, but I never figured out what it was.
Honestly, they did a special episode of Hot Ones where they eat the wings, right, with Will Ferrell and the actress who plays his caddy and the actor who plays his son. Don't know them well enough to know what their names are, but they they all made it through all 10 wings. Which ain't no way, bro. I'd be tapping out. Like I'm not. I'm just not that guy. I'm not going to torture myself with the hot wing stuff. E.T., you like a hot wing, man?
I love a hot wing.
Really? Like a thermonuclear?
No.
Okay.
Okay, well, let me rephrase it. I love a chicken wing. I need to be able to enjoy my wing. I don't need
a little bit of hot sauce, fine. But no, these guys, they got the Scoville scale.
Oh, yeah,
that
like, caliente. Yeah, no, that ain't for your boy.
This was wet. They went from like 125,000 on that scale, whatever that means, to 800,000, like in the next one. And the last one, the guy goes, don't even worry about the scale. In other words, this is going to rip the skin off your tongue.
Yeah.
If you have skin on your tongue.
Can't enjoy that. It's not enjoyable.
It would not be enjoyable to me either, other than like, I survived the Carolina Reaper or whatever. I don't care.
I don't need that on my resume.
So anyway, we took that in so you didn't have to. We fell on our sword this weekend. It wouldn't be a highly recommended watch. Let's put it that way. All right. Let's go to the phones. We got Paul and Amelia Isle wants to start this thing off early this morning. Why not? On the Key Buick GMC phone lines at 641-1010. See which direction Paul's going to try to spin us here. What's going on, Paul? Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Excellent. What's going on?
Oh, just same old island stuff. But to lead it off, I'm going with P. Wash for the question of the day.
Okay. How come?
It's going to happen. Probably 2 punt returns and 8 cutters.
Okay. Well, I mean, that would be a good reason why you would go with him, because you think it's going to happen. What makes him double his touchdown production through the air this year, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I just believe that him and Trevor have like a very good connection. So when they hit, and he's going to hit.
All right, fair enough. I think Parker, we wouldn't have put him in the poll if he wasn't a serious candidate to do this. And I was thinking, to be honest with you, I'm thinking more receiving and rushing. But, he did score a couple of punt return touchdowns last year, so I'll allow it. But, Tony, do you think he'll get the opportunity to continue to do that other than in key select moments? I hope he does.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion, if you've got these 4 receivers, and I get it, Travis Hunter's not going to be a full-time guy, but if you're playing 12 and 13 personnel to the degree that we hear they might play, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities to get Parker Washington a couple of snaps of rest if he has a particularly taxing 35-yard punt return.
My mind keeps going back to, they want to talk about trying to find their edge all the time, and I think they have a real edge with Parker Washington as a punt returner. Right, week to week, moment to moment, those opportunities, they have an edge there. Do they get enough from Josh Cameron, if that's the guy that they want to kind of hand some of those opportunities to? Do they get enough from him to feel like we haven't lost our edge, right? Like at this spot in some of these moments. There may be some times in games where you feel like there's so much on the line in this moment that we need to go with them, as you were just hinting to there, right? Like, how much is Parker going to do it? I think it's more about how much of it can Josh Cameron pick up. of that kind of role so that we can pivot to some of that for him. The way that they handle everything, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't work with Cameron early on, they just go, then Parker's doing it.
Look, Parker,
we'll deal with it.
Parker was a full-time guy, basically, a punt returner last year, right?
Since he's gotten here, basically,
so
yeah.
He had 25 returns last year.
Yeah.
That's 1.5 a game. Like, I get you're still out there, and maybe there's that tension of, I got to make a fair catch, but he's actually only returning an average of 3 every 2 games. Is that physically taxing?
I wouldn't think.
I mean, for an athlete of his ilk,
yeah,
right? And again, I guarantee you there are going to be some packages out there where Jacoby Myers and Brian Thomas are the only receivers on the field. There's got to be a way to manufacture him a little bit of rest in the natural flow of the game.
Well, Travis Hunter provides some of that too. Like,
absolutely.
There are times when we want Travis on the field, we can take Parker off for that rep.
Sure.
Right? Like those kinds of things, they have some flexibility doing all of that kind of stuff. I think a lot of it depends on how good is Josh Cameron in that role. And I think Cameron can be the primary punt returner for the football team this year. I think that's a possibility for him, but I don't think that's written anywhere. I think that has to be earned because they already know what they got with Parker back there doing the job. Like, he makes big plays week to week in the return game. Do you want to give up the opportunity? It's not like you know when it's happening.
Right. If you didn't have Travis Hunter and Jacoby Myers, I would get it. You're like, Parker's going to be playing every snap on offense, every single one that he can be out there for, along with Brian. I'm with you.
Yeah, Parker creates a leverage situation in every punt return possibly. Right? He's that good at that job that there's the opportunity for this to be a big one.
Now, there are also probably, could be a little game plan specific week by week.
No doubt.
Parker's a bigger part of this week's game plan. Or maybe you're up 14 in the second half. You give Josh Cameron some opportunities to save a few reps and save Parker's legs.
No doubt.
Yeah, okay. There you go. First vote for Parker Washington on that one today. And again, you may think it's somebody off the board, by the way. We are just going with the 2 primary running backs. No, offense to LaQuint Allen, but Bajal Tootin and Chris Rodriguez figure to touch the ball more in the grand scheme of things. And Brian Thomas, who's done this. Parker Washington, who last week we asked you who's going to lead the team in receiving. We've done this before. Parker Washington wins it again, right? And in part, Tone, because there was a story out there last week ranking all the best number 2 receivers in the league. And Jacoby Myers came in 8th. I forget who was doing. Maybe SI was doing it. And so they listed Brian Thomas as the number 1. So they're listing a guy number 3 who, at least the majority of Jaguar fans who listen to this station and give us the feedback, think is going to be the leading receiver on this football team, which kind of shows you almost they have different roles and strengths, but in terms of productivity, they could be somewhat interchangeable, at least on a weekly basis. I don't think Jacoby Myers is going to put up the same numbers as Brian Thomas and Parker over the long haul, but in any given week, he absolutely could.
Yeah, they can feature. They got a bunch of options. The offense, a lot of what they did in the draft was about flexibility with the way that they run formation, right? Like, it's why they went Borkature when they did. It's when we want to go big, we want to feel good about that package, right? Because we know we're 4 deep at wide receiver. What's the point of adding a 5th? Like at that point, it's like we feel like we can find an advantage for ourselves, find an edge if when we go big, the other team has to deal with it seriously when we try to do those kinds of things. So they went Borkature when they did. I don't know if it's the right plan or not. We won't know till we get all these guys on the field and see exactly how that's going to work out. But they are flexible with whatever they want to do in the offense. It appears like they are built to do whatever that happens to be. Now, a lot of that is relying on Tootin taking a big step going from year 1 to year 2, the plan with Rodriguez being what they want it to be as kind of the hammer there in the backfield. He's been a tackle breaker his whole NFL career to this point. He was that kind of guy at Kentucky. Is he going to be that in Jacksonville? We don't know, but they're betting on it, that he's going to be that kind of guy.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we know what they expect at this point, or what they put together and what they plan for. Whether that all comes to fruition, not even training camp's going to be able to tell you that.
No.
Regina in Mandarin, and Regina, this is the second time in the last week and a half that we must be getting closer to training camp. Regina, good morning.
Good morning. You got that right.
Duval, Regina. Good morning. What's on your mind?
So, I want to discuss your question of the day. I want BTJ to be the number one scorer because I want, whatever was coached up. I don't know if Jimmy Smith did it, but I want him to be the burner, like he and Trevor, and get that ball down the field. So Chris Rodriguez won't need to do his work in close, on the red zone. The other thing is, you mentioned it just in the clip before. We don't know about Chris Rodriguez's durability at all. He's a big black hole right now. So, we're always talking about disguising, the plays, and Liam Cohen is a genius. But the predictability, you get these guys on the field. Is this going to happen? And I'll take all your comments off the air.
Yeah.
Go Jags.
Go Jags, indeed. That's a great setup, and we'll discuss it after the break because there is a piece out just this morning on NFL.com that asked about that very issue that you're talking about right there, Regina, and kind of Tony alluded to it a little bit as well. I think this is going to work perfectly. So a vote for Brian Thomas, so we don't need to go into short yardage mode. We want to hit him from deep, says Regina. But we'll address that. Are the roles going to be so defined by the different players on this team that it's going to be easy for opposing defenses to figure out what the intent is with what the Jaguars are trying to do? Obviously, they don't want it to be that way, but let's discuss the reality of maybe it is, at least early on, until they prove that they've got the flexibility to do whatever they want out of any kind of formation. Regina, good question. We'll weigh in on that coming up in just a moment. Quick timeout. Back with more with Tony Smith and E.T. I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Andersen Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with Renewal by Andersen and get $250 off every window and door. Plus, 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. With Renewal by Andersen, you're getting American craftsmanship, expert installation, and signature service. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. That's bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free design consultation. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I went to the branch on 210 to get my car loan and had a fantastic experience. I got a great rate and was in and out. The online banking services are also outstanding. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Want to stretch that dollar? Taylor Doll here to help save you money with the Money Pages magazine and app. Trying to figure out dinner? Money Pages has deals at your favorite local restaurants. Need auto repairs or an oil change? Money Pages has coupons to help you save. Looking to do some home improvement projects? Money Pages has deals on everything home, from AC repair and plumbing to flooring and painting. Check your mailbox for Money Pages today and download the app for savings on the go.
Did you know that the Kuhn Flowers showrooms are filled with gift ideas for the ones you love? This is JJ. From floral arrangements to unique and timely gifts, Kuhn Flowers has been a staple here in Jacksonville for over 75 years. KuhnFlowers.com.
Daily Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
You know, there is a lot of mystery about the Jaguars' backfield this year. There's no question about that. Tony Bajal-Tootin had, how many touches do you think offensively he had last year, regular season touches for Bajal-Tootin? Receptions and rushing attempts combined.
50?
93.
Okay.
A little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Rodriguez had 115. So you're talking about just about 200 between the two of them.
Yeah.
Right there. One of them figures to get easily north of 250 touches this year by themselves.
You would think.
Can they hold up to it? We don't know. But to go back to the point, I think you alluded to it a little bit, but Regina certainly brought it up. Like, are we going to be pigeonholed? Is this team going to be pigeonholed? All right, Chris Rodriguez on the field. Well, that means we're doing certain things with our backs, and we're more in a run-first mode. Can he catch the ball out of the backfield? I'm of the opinion that you got to be a pretty bad set of hands if you're a professional running back and you can't catch the simple swing passes in the NFL. So I'm going to hope that that's the case. But Chris Rodriguez in 3 years in Washington had the ball thrown to him 7 times. He caught 6, but only had it thrown to him 7 times. Now, he wasn't playing a ton, right? But still had 198 rushing attempts, had 6 catches. So not proven in that area. Bajal-Tootin, a little bit better ratio, 83 rushing attempts, 10 receptions, still not a prolific receiver. Here's what I saw this morning over at NFL.com. Biggest remaining roster issue for every AFC team they go through. And they said the biggest issue for them is running back. With the departure of Travis Etienne and free agency, Jacksonville will have to recreate his impact in the aggregate. In other words, won't necessarily be one guy posting those yards and those touchdowns, but can they combine for it? Just watch Moneyball, Tony. We don't need to replace Jeremy Giambi's 400 and whatever on base percentage. We need 3 guys who are 365 in the aggregate. That's what we need, okay? That was for getting on base.
Yep. That's the basic idea of Moneyball. Yeah.
Correct. So what they say, the Jags should get speed from Tootin, pass catching contributions from Allen, and short yardage work from Rodriguez. But the offense might lack flexibility and disguise from play to play. In other words, they're saying when they're on the field, is it a tell? Rodriguez on the field? Well, we don't have to worry about them throwing to the back. When LaQuint Allen's on the field, they're probably not running the ball, right? Or now, if you're in a 2 or 4 minute mode, you may not be running the ball much. Do you think that there's enough versatility in the games of Bajal-Tootin and Chris Rodriguez that they can play as interchangeable pieces? I'm not sure about Rodriguez. I think Bajal-Tootin can do that. I think he can be a competent enough receiver that he's not going to – you don't need him to be running routes like Christian McCaffrey split out from the formation or anything like that. Can he handle the simple stuff? I think that's the case. I do think as it stands at the moment, he feels like the guy with the most diverse skill set of all these running backs. But again, we didn't see it from Chris Rodriguez. That doesn't mean he can't do it. And Chris Rodriguez, we talk about Basil Tootin. Well, he's going to be the breakaway threat in this offense. Long run for Basil Tootin in the regular season last year was 15 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rodriguez, long run in his 3 seasons, 16, 25, 48. Is Chris Rodriguez more explosive than we think? And if he is, does it feel just more natural no matter who's on the field, or once you get inside the 10, oh, here comes jumbo package, here's Chris Rodriguez? Obviously, the Jags don't want to make it that telegraphed, and that's in part why you talked about they drafted Borkacher, right? A guy like that, along with Brenton Strange, can you play bully ball and run it down people's throats? And can you, at the same time, out of those formations, have everything open to you in your passing game? I think that's the goal. Time will tell whether they're successful or not, though.
Yeah, I think we can look at the numbers that Achane put up last year, and it's why we're asking the poll that we're asking today is basically, do they have anyone that can replace that production?
Right. Is there one guy who can step forward, at least in the scoring department?
And I think we can go back and look at what happened with the offense last year. Do we lose sight of the fact that Tootin scored 7 touchdowns?
I haven't.
Right, like he scored 5 rushing and 2 receiving. It's not like it was always Achane in all those situations. Like they still found ways to use Tootin in that part of the field. I think it's going to be similar in a lot of ways. It's hard to know exactly what the Rodriguez thing is going to be because I haven't really watched him play. I can look at the numbers and see he seems to be an effective short yardage guy, not much of a pass catcher. They talked early on in this offseason about wanting maybe to get LaQuint Allen more involved as a receiver, which would make sense if he's going to be the guy that's on the field on 3rd down.
Mm-hmm.
That you want to be able, when we are able to block it up and sneak him out, we want to feature him a little bit more in those kind of roles, like that kind of thing with a guy like LaQuint Allen. I think there are certainly open questions about what exactly it's going to look like in the backfield. The mystery of what Rodriguez is leaves so much of this open to me as to what exactly he can be. I think we've already seen a little bit of them feeling comfortable with Tootin in basically any situation in the offense as they're running it right now, right? But he wasn't super featured in that kind of role. So what's it going to look like for him to be featured in that kind of role? I don't know. I can understand why, if you're putting together an article saying here's the big question going into training camp for the football team, why that would be the one that you would pick, right? It's a natural thing to pick with what they lost this offseason with Achane not coming back. It makes sense. We talked about it a couple weeks ago with our top 5s when we were going through them. I'm not as nervous about running back as a lot of people seem to be. Like, I'm not nervous or necessarily all that excited about it. I look at the group and I think kind of the way that I did about the offensive line going into last season, by the time we got to the season, I was like, they'll be fine. That's how I felt when we got to the season. That's kind of where I'm at with the running back situation right now. I'm like, oh, they'll be all right.
Were they better than fine, though, last year? I think they, look, and I get the whole stink of the running game, but, it's pretty good when your top 2 running backs combined for 20 scores.
Yes.
And that's what they did. So you can have some stink, but that's still a lot of production, right? And granted, there were circumstances where you felt like you wanted to be able to run the ball to close out games, whatever, and you couldn't do it. Okay,
short yardage, having to use Trevor as much as they did.
And by the way, in the second half of the season, they did win 8 in a row.
Right.
So they were still somehow managing with this stinky running game, right? But maybe the better question would be, and you can use this week if you like. Maybe the better question is, will Rodriguez and Tootin and Rodriguez combine for 20 scores this year, right? Because that's what Achane and Tootin gave you last year. 12 on the ground, 8 through the air. Can they replicate that? And that did keep them a little bit balanced because Travis Achane was as much a threat catching the ball and making plays out of the backfield as he was running the football. He scored 7 on the ground and in far fewer opportunities scored 6 through the air last year. And you add those 13 to Tootin 7, there's your 20. Can they actually improve that number? If they get up near 20 with these guys, with what I expect out of the passing game this year, I think this offense is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Can they do it, though?
I think the possibility of that kind of thing is certainly there because I don't expect Trevor Lawrence to have to score 9 again.
That's a part of it, though.
Right? Like,
right?
I think that Trevor Lawrence has shown to this point in his career he's the 4 to 5 touchdown guy. Like, that's where he's been pretty consistently at. You can go back and look at it, 2, 5, 4, 3, 9. That's been his rushing touchdown scored to this point in his career. They obviously felt like they needed to feature him more in that part of the field for whatever myriad of reasons, right? They just felt like they needed to feature him more. I think the pie gets split up a little bit differently in that regard. And who benefits most from that? Hopefully Trevor Lawrence in the end.
If Trevor in the end accounts for 38 touchdowns, I don't think anybody's going to care how they come, right? No. I mean, so...
Not if they're winning 13 games.
Was it 38, 37, whatever it was, right, last year? If he accounts for the same... somewhere around 40 passing and or rushing combined. And those guys, that's what I thought. And those guys, 29 and 9. So, and those guys in the backfield we're talking about push 20. I mean, look, I'm sure Liam Cohen's probably not satisfied with that. They probably think they can be that scoring machine there in the second half of the year all year long.
Yeah, why not 30? Right.
And
that's the way they look at it. Yeah.
That's fine, but you still got to get to some of these baseline numbers.
Absolutely.
And you don't want, the last thing you want is making this team one-dimensional, like, oh, yeah, they can throw it around the yard, but we don't have to respect their running game. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I think, and the NFL is looking at this, and I think rightfully so, like you mentioned, that's a fair question
Makes
to ask
sense.
right now. All right, again, question of the day, which of these Jaguars we're giving you the option of is most likely to score 10 or more times in 2026? Chris Rodriguez, Brian Thomas, Bajal Tootin, Parker Washington. You can vote at MD_1010XL on X. We continue the discussion straight ahead on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Let the excitement of the game take you away.
Flyers back on top of the college basketball world championship madness.
Your home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
It's a great day to be a Gator.
I'm Alan Tyre with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners Bill Pappas and Kim Rimley want to thank all of our clients, CPAs, attorneys, bankers, and real estate agents who refer us business every day. If you're ready to purchase, build, or refinance your home, call Trustline Mortgage, your hometown mortgage source since 1989. Call us today at 904-381-LOAN, TrustlineMortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Trustline Mortgage, NMLS, 331480. Alan Tyre, NMLS, 246490. Bill Pappas, NMLS, 218443. Ken Remley, NMLS, 246445.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
Hey, I'll be home in about 10 minutes. Actually, make it 8.
Hey, Mom. Yep, I'm walking home now. Mom, I'm trying to cross, but I don't think this driver sees me. No, they're driving too fast. Mom!
Speeding catches up with you. Early, on time, a little late, just get there safely. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative.
When you want to know what's happening in Gainesville, roll with the Gator Report. I'm Joe C. Listen for updates on Florida Gator athletics several times a week on 1010XL. Built by Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Go, Gator! Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $4,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
There's a simpler and easier way to get your construction permits. PermitRockstar.com. PermitRockstar.com has a team of rock stars. Construction rock stars that fight the permit battle for you. The Permit Rockstar platform can virtually automate and submit your permit paperwork, eliminating mistakes. And their private provider can save you weeks on plan reviews and virtual inspections. Get your permits faster. PermitRockstar.com. Stop waiting on permits and get back to building. PermitRockstar.com.
You know Zero Res, the zero residue carpet cleaner that leaves your carpets truly clean with no dirt-attracting soaps or harsh chemicals. Don't risk it with the other guys. Skip the disasters that leave your carpets soaked for days and do more harm than good. Keep the mud outside where it belongs, not trapped in your carpets. This month, get 3 rooms of Carpet Zero Resified, starting at just $129. Call 287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL special.
Zero Res.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Jaguars Today
on 1010XL.
The guy, Tony, I saw him around the building this morning. What's the guy used to produce this show? What's his name? PJ?
Something J.
RW?
Yeah.
I don't know. RJ. He's poked his head in studio like he's part of this program, man.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? Left us high and dry for the week. Now, we're very happy to have you.
He looked tired.
He did look tired, man. It's exhausting hosting. RJ hosted, did a great job on Friday night, filling in for Rick and Hacker.
Mm-hmm.
And now he'll be filling in on prime time this week. JJ LaSelva is on paternity leave. How long is paternity leave around these parts, by the way? I might need to look into having some more kids. I'm just wondering. When I had Colin, or I didn't, when my wife had Colin, you get the idea. When our son was born.
Colin, yeah.
Well, we did have Colin.
You did.
I had a part in it, a small part. But, I took a week off.
There you go.
It was vacation time, too.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't any paternity leave nonsense. That's because I didn't work here at the time. This is a much more forward-thinking organization than the last place that we left behind. But I don't know. Do you get paternity leave if you adopt a kid, too? Because I think that'd be easier for me at this stage. Prepackaged.
Go the foster route.
So just try, maybe a foster route. Then try it out, right? Just see how it works. See how it goes. I'm just looking for a little paid time off. That's all I'm trying to do around these parts.
That's a nice thing for the kid to know as you come in.
Hey, you know what you are? We'll call you paid time off. All right, PTO. That's what you are. No, of course I kid, mostly. All right, why don't we take a look around the National Football League?
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
The Baltimore Ravens are bringing in center Ethan Posick on a one-year deal worth a maximum of $4.5 million. Philadelphia wide receiver Mekhi Lemon said that he expects to be 100% ready for training camp after missing their mandatory minicamp with a hamstring injury. Police were called to the home of Philadelphia running back Saquon Barkley shortly after 5 a.m. on Saturday for a report of a burglary in process. The alleged suspects had already fled the area when police had arrived. Police are searching for at least 2 suspects, released a photo of a white SUV that they believe to have been involved with the alleged crime. And New York Giants running back Cam Scatterbo scared everyone this weekend, but did say that he's perfectly fine after a failed attempt at a backflip at Fanatics Fest on Saturday. He landed awkwardly during the attempt, but said he was fine the next day at another event at the same, like a different location, I think up there in New York. York, but anyone who saw the video, I saw everyone reacting to it saying, how are the Giants feeling? Like, where is Harbaugh's heart right now as he's watching his running back coming off that major an injury do that kind of thing? He is famous for the backflip, but maybe we save him for October.
How would you feel if Basil Tutin's out there doing backflips? I wouldn't feel great about it. I don't care how good he is at the backflip, or even if he sticks the landing, and he's not coming off of major surgery like Cam Scadaboo is. But hey, that's their issue, not mine. I mean, he's an exciting guy to watch, right? But because of, that always go 110 mile an hour mentality, people just wonder how long he's going to last in the National Football League. All right.
Burns bright.
There you go. Your look around the NFL. Not a whole lot going on, but that's going to change rapidly. Next week, we're going to have all kinds of people in training camps ready to roll, and before you know it, the season will be upon us, Tony.
Yeah, this next week's about the anniversary of the Chargers basically losing their whole offensive line, so stay tuned.
Yikes, man. And I mean, honestly, that's the thing. The Jags were super healthy last year, for the most part, right? You can point to a few individuals here and there. Grant, yes, I get that they lost Travis Hunter and they lost Caleb Branshaw, but we're talking about rookie impact. In terms of the veteran players and guys that made it to the start of the season, they didn't really lose many along the way. And yes, Travis Hunter was going to perhaps be a big part of what they did, but they did bring in Jacoby Myers and probably wouldn't have done that if Travis Hunter had stayed healthy. So, it could be to the benefit of the 2026 Jacksonville Jaguars, but you can't have 2 or 3 offensive linemen continually missing time. And I get Trayvon Walker played one-handed, but he played last year. You can't have he or Josh missing a month in the season. And maybe, who knows, if that happens, all of a sudden somebody will take advantage of that opportunity and we'll discover where that third pass rusher is going to come from. But in the meantime,
I hope you don't have to find out.
No. So, all right, let's as we head into hour 2. Got a post yesterday from somebody I had not, somebody I'm guessing I'm friends with on Facebook, right? Because I don't care. You message me and want me to be your friend on Facebook, I'll accept anybody. The problem is I probably have a backlog on there because I never go to Facebook anymore. I just don't use it. I don't post. I don't do anything.
I haven't looked. I'm sure I got 200 birthday messages this weekend, but I haven't looked.
Happy belated. You didn't get one from me.
Yeah. It's all good.
But somebody did send me one in regards to taking an aspect of the World Cup and translating to the National Football League. So we'll discuss that when we return to the moment. I don't like it. Neither will anybody else, likely, but it was at least interesting to see. I wonder if others feel this way after watching the conclusion of the World Cup over the weekend. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, ET is in with us all week long as we shuffle things around. In the short term, RJ will be producing XL Primetime. JJ LaSelva out on paternity leave. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here for another hour to go today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios, 1010XL. Here's another classic Florida Gator moment.
Kind of calm myself down, pull back tears.
You have never seen any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season, and you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of this season. God bless.
1010XL.
There's only one sport with games to bet every day the rest of the summer, and there's only one legal app to bet it. Bet baseball on Hard Rock Bet, your home to bet home runs, strikeouts, even the next at-bat. It's secure and regulated, so your money is safe. Step up to the plate with towering parlays that can turn a dollar bet into a max payout up to $2 million.
It's out of here!
Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Nobody likes feeling taken advantage of by a service company. That's why homeowners across Northeast Florida choose Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When we come to your home, our job is simple. Find the problem, fix the problem. Charge a fair price, no upselling, no scare tactics. No surprise recommendations designed to sell you more than you need. Quality work from a local team you can trust. Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Open early and open late. Dailies is always there, making things easy for you to cruise in and cruise out. So hit Dailies Cold Case the next time you're craving a cold one. Bud Light by the case, plus plenty of singles to choose from. Corona, to the king of beers, to Stella or a Natty. They're all cold at Dailies.
Who started the traditional first pitch in baseball?
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The ceremonial first pitch tradition was started by U.S. President William Howard Taft April 14, 1910, at Griffith Stadium in Washington, D.C.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
It's time to get your kid in the game with I-9 Sports. From North Jacksonville to Fleming Island, Neptune Beach to Orange Park. I-9 Sports makes it convenient for you just 1 day per week. Fall and winter registration open right now at I-9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
The Cash Building Material SEC Football Media Days coverage on 1010XL previews the upcoming SEC football season. Listen for interviews of coaches, players, and analysts as they give insight throughout the day on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by Gate Petroleum Company. SEC Commissioner Greg Stanke commented on continuing the conference championship
consideration, and one of the factors for us is what will happen with that college football playoff.
Trevor Lawrence jumped up to number 62 in the NFL Top 100, his highest ranking yet, voted on by the players, finishing ahead of Lamar Jackson. At your 1010XL local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
Currently, it's 11:01 and it's 87 degrees. Your time and your temp is brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller. Stay tuned because there's more Jaguars today, and it's coming up next right here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM.
XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, so Tony, you were gone. The NFL's list of the top 100 players, which, basically is a vote during the season of guys and who, it's
kind of cool to see a short video of a bunch of Texans defensive players being like, oh, this guy's a problem. Like, that was kind of fun, but other than that, that's about as much as you're going to get out of that kind of list.
Trevor Lawrence came in 62nd in the list of all the top players in the National Football League. How did you feel about that ranking? Just what's your gut tell you? About right? A little high? A little low?
It's probably a little bit low, but it's hard, right? Like, trying to compare all the NFL players to one another is a difficult thing to do. So maybe he should be a little bit higher on the list, but even that's hard to know until you see the rest of the list. But yeah, he'd probably move up a few spots if I was putting that kind of list together.
You taking Trevor Lawrence? You taking Bo Nix?
Trevor.
Yeah, Bo Nix came in at 59.
Yeah. He deserves to be higher than Bo Nix.
On the list this morning. So 62, I thought, he's top 5 in the MVP. And those things, I get it. They're a snapshot in time and all that. But I'll tell you what, if you were redrafting the league, none of these quarterbacks would be going down in the 60s.
No.
Right? You got to make sure you got one along the way. And granted, Bo Nix, was playing against the Jaguars defense, and Trevor was playing against Denver's, which was supposedly one of the best, and they were at home, and somehow the Jags managed to win by 2 touchdowns in that game. But that's cool. Bo Nix is much better than, I guess not much better, but slightly better, according to the ranking, than Trevor Lawrence. And they're both way better than Lamar Jackson. Or at least,
it's crazy.
I don't know, 10 spots for Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Lamar Jackson was banged up last year, so again, it's kind of moment by moment. He came in number 10 on SI's ranking. Don't worry too much about it. It's only for guys like us to fill a radio segment or two along the way. Honestly, that's what it's for, right? It's for clicks on NFL.com. How are we going to drive people? Well, we're going to do a top 100 list. Oh, yeah, I got an idea. We'll just release like 10 at a time. No, even better. Let's do one at a time and only a max of 2 per day. So we get people coming back. Hey, you know what? We're suckers. We clicked on it. All right, let's put that aside. Got this yesterday, sent me a message. Somebody's watching the World Cup. Okay, and granted, I'm not into the World Cup. I'm into the United States international sporting activity, so I'll root for any red, white, and blue and watch them anytime they're performing, right? Particularly if they have a chance to do well, and they did this time around. But I literally didn't watch a minute of any World Cup match outside of the United States. That's me. I'm not knocking your World Cup experience if you enjoyed it. And I get, you're in the Olympics, you're going for a gold, a silver, and a bronze. A bronze medal's worth something. You medaled at the Olympics,
that way.
right? Yeah. You have medaled. Nobody looks at the 2 teams in the AFC and NFC championship game and goes, who's more worthy of the bronze, the losers of that game? At least I don't look at that.
As far as I'm aware, this is the only soccer tournament that even does that kind of thing.
Is that right?
They don't do it for UEFA. They certainly don't do it in Premier League because there's not a playoff. They do it for the World Cup because third in the World Cup means something. Right?
I guess.
That kind of thing. It's kind of the bronze medal of the World Cup.
I guess.
Okay.
And look, it was an exciting game. If you like scoring, which soccer fans are probably not used to, you got 6-4, which is the equivalent of a 57 to 55 shootout in the National Football League or something along those lines.
Yeah, it was kind of an all-star game. It felt like it was just go boys.
So
Let's
whatever.
see a little offense.
It's France and it's England and they're England and France and they've got history and they're close proximity and all that stuff. And there's bragging rights. And you only do this every 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody said, hey, look, what do you think about this as a topic of discussion? And watching the World Cup, I like the 3rd and 4th place team playing an exhibition for 3rd. I think the NFL should have the losers of the championship games play on the Saturday before the Super Bowl. It's more revenue. What would be even better would be to have them play at noon on Sunday, and you get 2 games the day of the Super Bowl. Don't know how doable that would be. That would be my better choice. Look, I think it's pretty obvious at this point that it's never going to happen again. It used to happen. A lot of things used to happen. They used to let you tackle somebody around the neck, right, with a clothesline tackle. That was legal. They had to actually outlaw that at some point in time. So there was a lot of stuff that went on that wouldn't pass muster today. But back in the 60s, you could get a 3rd place game because they were like the AFL was pushing to be on par or overtake the National Football League. The National Football League is now supreme. First of all, I don't think they'd play it on Sunday if in the mythical world where they brought it back, because you got all these folks that are tuning in to talking heads all day. Like, you've already got a built-in audience for that. Yeah. And what if that game turns out to be a barn burner, right? and you put that on, and then later you get
Super Bowl
14 to 10 Super Bowl, and you're like, oh, maybe we should have had so-and-so in here, and maybe if so-and-so wasn't hurt. But it's more simply for the fact that look at where the Pro Bowl has gone. Nobody wants to play in that anymore, except now that it's flag football. People will go because they feel like the injury risk is significantly lessened. Could you imagine? Would you want your team playing for the third place game, then what are you going to do? Hang a banner?
Yeah, no.
We're the third best team in the NFL?
No.
Do you want your guy going out there tearing an Achilles and spending the entire month off season, rehabbing, maybe to come back at some point in the following season?
No. Can't even imagine I'd have no desire.
Zero desire.
If the Jaguars were to get to the AFC Championship game the 3 times that they have, and then they got to play in some additional game 3 weeks later or a week later, I don't have any desire to do it. Like, I know people have occasionally kicked around the idea of the number 1 and 2 slots in the draft play a game to determine who actually gets the first pick in the draft. And I was like, that idea makes more sense, and it still makes no sense to me. Right? Like, it just, you have it designed the way that you do. The 2 teams that win the conference championship games play for the championship of the league. End of story. We get a week off. The Pro Bowl's in that week. If you don't enjoy the Pro Bowl, sorry. Right? Like, you're allowed to do something else. It doesn't have to hold all of your time.
And that game would be no more compelling than the Pro Bowl is.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't want my guys to play, as you said. No desire to watch because they're playing for
squad,
nothing.
Here's your chance.
Right? It's the same as the draft pick thing. It wouldn't make any sense because you're going to try to convince the players on those teams to play so that the organization can get the number 1 pick. Why would they care? Right? Like, it's not competitive in that environment. The Super Bowl is competitive. A third place game is not a competitive environment from an NFL standard. So what's the point?
Right. Imagine like you're the quarterback of one of the last place teams and you're playing for the number 1 pick just so you can win and earn the right to have your replacement drafted at the top of the draft next year. Like, it's not where's the incentive for these guys?
The fans love me before I go into the game because I got them the number 1 pick. I'm not going to be the guy who does anything. I've done my job. Like, that's the way that I would look at it. It's like, I did badly enough that they're going to have the number 1 pick. I'm not going to fight for them to keep it. Why would I?
What do they pay the Super Bowl winners now? What do Super Bowl winners make? Because the only way you could make that game competitive is to offer an astronomical amount of money to the winning side.
Right.
And to say, hey, winners all get $2 million a man. Are you really whatever the number would be? Well, there's a 53-man roster. Maybe you're only talking about the guys who are active. Whatever the case, like, why are you going to put that much into something that absolutely means nothing? And it gives you one more game. There's plenty of games.
This is AI, so I don't know if this is accurate or not. But they say players on the winning team received a baseline bonus of $178,000. Players on the losing team received $103,000. So it was a $75,000 bonus.
Okay, so granted, and it's still a lot of money to normal people, right? But you're talking about $178,000. What could you possibly give the winners of these games? $50,000 a piece and give 0 to the losers, or what? And what's the point? You're just, and I don't care if they get richer. You know what I mean? Like, I care about the competition meaning something. It's why Live Golf didn't work. It didn't mean anything.
There's stakes. The Super Bowl has stakes. Third place game has no stakes.
The championship game has stakes.
Yeah.
You lose and your season's over with. And again, those guys are not going to want to put off their Cancun trip or wherever they're. Seriously, they're just not like.
I already saw you lose the game that matters. I'm
you
done with
mentally checked out at that point in time, or you're dealing with it, or whatever the case may be. So I understand the question. I just think the practical hurdles are. It's not even going to be discussed. This is not even ever going to be a point of discussion in a CBA in the future. Like, what's the point of it?
Yeah.
If anything, they're going to maybe one day they'll eliminate the Pro Bowl. Now, as long as they can still get some TV ratings out of it. But if the TV ratings ever go away, just name guys to the Pro Bowl team and let them have that honor and let that be good enough to qualify for the bonuses in their contract and not worry about actually putting them out there in jeopardy or potential jeopardy. Well, what about soccer? Well, the inherent nature of soccer, you can get hurt running. Those guys run all the time, right? That's part of your training year-round. Running into a brick wall is not part of your training in the NFL. Like, you hit a blocking sled, but you're not hitting a blocking sled that's coming at you at 22 miles an hour with the intent to do you great bodily harm.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense. The money, in fact, makes it make less sense because these guys are all making so much and they're so valuable to what they do. It's even to the point, Tone, like, I get it. It's a great honor to represent your country. I would secretly, if there was ever a full-blown NFL tackle football version in the Olympics, not want my players to make the team, or whatever, or to be, held out for whatever reason, because how is that ever going to work? If you're trying to get these guys up to speed to where they can't just show up and play a tackle football game. That's why training camp is as long as it is, even though it may not be as intense as it once was or isn't anywhere close to it.
Right.
There's still a build-up process to get you ready for the beginning of the regular season, and you're still then holding your breath to make sure guys stay healthy when they go all out.
And I got curious here. The winning team at the Pro Bowl gets $96,000 in bonus. They basically get what the losing team in the Super Bowl gets, right, for winning the Pro Bowl games.
Okay. And what does the loser get? Anything? They probably get a little something.
They get something.
There's an incentive to go out there, but it's not to get hurt. Like
58,000.
58.
Yeah,
pretty good if you get to play. Like I'll take 58 grand for the weekend for absolutely nothing. If it came to, obviously you have to play well enough to get selected, but once you do, you don't have to really do anything to earn that money.
You get
Just
50
show
or
up.
100 grand to show up.
What happens?
Even with that, with the Pro Bowl, like I know for a fact that some of the guys won't go because like the Pro Bowl is like a vacation, so they're bringing all their family and everybody to it, and they end up.
It got expensive.
Correct. So
right?
they end up coming out of pocket going to the Pro Bowl. So that's why they'll just even decline that.
Did they pay for like one significant other? Like when it was in
maybe one significant.
Yeah, like
other.
you could bring your wife or
Correct.
somebody.
But they're normally
with
bringing
you.
like families of 10. And it's not even in Hawaii anymore. So when it was in Hawaii, it was even more expensive. So they're like, wait, we're going to get 100 grand to go to Orlando. I got to bring 12 people. I'm paying for their hotels. I'm paying for the expenses. Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah. There's just so many practical reasons, but I get it. I get it why it comes up when you see that on the world stage and what is, the world sport is what soccer is right now. And that's okay. I'm happy with America's sport right here. All right. Let's see. We've got a couple more pieces out there on training camp storylines from CBS Sports and NFL.com. So we'll get into those as we continue along this hour. Our question of the day, asking you out of the options we gave you, Chris Rodriguez, Basil Tootin, Brian Thomas Jr., and Parker Washington, which one of those four players is most likely to hit double-digit touchdowns in 2026? You can vote accordingly at MD_1010XL on the X platform. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Buckle up your chin strap.
Blitz! You gotta blitz them!
1010XL.
You blitz all night!
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
We're gonna blitz like Dick Butkus.
Ace Carline here for Atlantic Infinity, and yes, I'm still loving my new QX60. Right now, you can lease one or lock in just 1.9% financing for 60 months, and every new Infinity comes with the Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's over $7,000 in added value. That's one of many reasons why I bought mine there. No pressure, no games, just a great experience. Make your next ride an Infinity from Atlantic Infinity. Visit AtlanticInfinity.com or the showroom near Atlantic and St. John's Bluff.
Dream Finders Homes Monday on Jaguars Today.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Picking here, or maybe you should call me Dreamfinders Danny. Look what Dreamfinders is doing again, an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
When you hear it from John Osher, you can be sure, cause O knows. Oh, yeah. Find out what he's heard about your favorite football team. Listen for Jacksonville's senior writer weekdays on 1010XL. Served up by Twin Peaks.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384. Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank Performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. One winner gets round-trip airfare for 2, 4 nights hotel, and 2 tickets to the Jags game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 6/29 to 8/27/26. Get official rules and details at everbank.com/London Rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A. Member FDIC.
ET here for Encore Research. And this summer, discover the power of research. Clinical studies are helping researchers find better ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat disease. And community members like you make it all possible. Your participation could help drive the next generation of healthcare discoveries. Find out how you can make a difference at EncoreDocs.com. Research moves forward because of volunteers like you. Let's build a healthier Jacksonville together.
America's turning 250, and Superior Fence and Rail is celebrating in true red, white, and blue style. For a limited time, save $250 on your new fence. Give your home the freedom, security, and curb appeal it deserves. Celebrate America with a fence built to last. Offer valid on new contracts for 100 linear feet or more. Cannot be combined with other offers.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service,
Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
No, it's funny. We got someone on the text line that was asking, they gave the 3 matchups that Jacksonville would have had in the 3rd place game, the 3 years they were in the AFC Championship game. And it reminded me Minnesota in 17 would have been the matchup. And we were there, right, for that game. So we saw the city already reacting to having lost the NFC Championship game. And I'm trying to imagine in my mind what energy there could have possibly been in that city, right? If they were getting ready to host potentially a 3rd place game against Jacksonville that week. We were around the people in that community all week. They were nothing but sad about what had just happened. So I can't imagine there would be any energy for, oh, yay.
Third place. Think about that, really, the fact that they were playing to host the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? To play in a game
Before
that they
Tampa
were hosting.
did,
in Minnesota, right? And for all those years, it never lined up that way. But I just can't imagine.
Would have been Carolina in
'96.
96. Would have been Tampa in '99.
Yeah,
and then Minnesota in 17. We missed out on those classic matchups to figure out if the Jags were the 3rd or 4th best team in the NFL those years. That's a shame.
Well, I'm going to call them the 3rd best team in all those instances.
Why not?
You can't prove otherwise. You could even go that they were the 2nd best team if they lost to the team that won the Super Bowl. If you want to go that way, Tone, as we get closer to the start of training camp, you're getting all the different training camp storylines to watch, like NFL.com highlighted the running back position. Although they did put together their all breakout team for Bucky Brooks put this together. And so it's not surprising that he would include Travis Hunter in there, but I think
he did offense last week and defense over the weekend.
Defense, and I think it's, put it this way, if Travis Hunter does not have a breakout season, if he stays healthy, then something has not gone according to plan. Yeah. Right? Let me ask you, if he becomes a lockdown corner and nothing more going forward than what we would refer to on any other team as a gadget offensive player that you put in there. You occasionally throw a deep shot to him, or you give him a couple of reverses or whatever. But it's more just to remind you that he's there as opposed to making him a featured part of the offense. Does that make the Travis Hunter selection, what you gave up to get him, a failure or a loss?
No, I don't think so. Not if he's an elite corner, right? Like, if he is playing at that kind of level, then I don't think it's necessarily a loss. It's not everything that you thought it might be when they made the trade, but it's not that you obviously got a great player.
I would agree with you just on the actual, like,
it doesn't mean I wouldn't be disappointed that it didn't work out, that he's a monster two-way player. But if he's a monster on one side of the ball or the other, that's fine.
The Colts gave up 2 first-round picks to get Sauce Gardner, right? But you also have to pay Sauce Gardner premium money right from the moment you acquire him.
Right.
And he's a little bit older. He's not old, but he's a little bit older. Here you get a kind of a fresh new toy. And granted, you did give up a couple of first-round picks. You gave up more than that. You gave up a second-round pick. You got a pick swap in your favor later on. So it was more than just 2 first-round picks that you gave up. But if Travis Hunter turns into an elite, multi-time all-pro cornerback, I would agree that it's not a waste of that capital because, look, quite frankly, you could have spent those picks individually where you were and not gotten one player at any position that matched the impact that he makes at one of the 2 positions. I think the one thing, though, that people will look back, it's the Jaguars saying he's going to revolutionize the game.
Sure.
You know, this is so from the standpoint of what they expected, if it turned out that way, that he was a lockdown corner and a very seldomly used receiver, then it would have failed to live up to what they sold us on what the vision was. I think that's fair to say. To me, that doesn't make it a failure. Again, if you spent those picks, what is the likelihood of those picks turning out one all-pro level player? And if you get that in him and he's a contributor on offense, and maybe he's going to be significantly more. I'm looking at like the worst case scenario, provided he stays healthy, is that he is a lockdown core. I don't think there's any question in my mind. He's going to be really outstanding at what he does on defense. And I don't think it's going to be a 20-touch season for him on offense. I don't know what number they get to, but I got to come up with 2 or 3 times a week when I put the ball in his hands because of his make-you-miss ability and, you know, to give you an instant spark, a big play, give defensive coordinators something to think about, utilize the asset that you poured so much into. So if he does have a season where he's like under 30 touches, I'm going to be on offense. I am going to be disappointed in that aspect of it, but it doesn't mean it's a failure as long as he's holding up his end of the bargain at the highest level on defense. He's got to be considered, to me, like one of the best corners in the league. Beyond that, if he never played offense, and you said we made this bold move up in the top 5 to go from 5 to 2, we paid all this because we thought we were getting the next Pat Surtain. And we couldn't we knew he wasn't going to fall to us. And that alone, that can be worth it in today's NFL.
In a draft where everyone thought there were 3 or 4 premium players in that draft anyway.
Right.
And Jacksonville was right outside the range of that at 5. Right? Like, that's how that draft felt going in. Well, they traded up to get that guy. I don't know what would have happened with Hunter landing in other spots. I know that when he landed here in Jacksonville, they made the bold move to go get it done. And the GM and the coaching staff is willing to talk about him revolutionizing the game, right? Like, they're willing to speak those words. So there's a lot of heat around those kind of topics. I think when you get to broader picture stuff with him, if he is a great corner in the NFL for the next 10 years, and that's all he ever is just a great corner, it doesn't mean the trade wasn't worth it. You can feel whatever level of disappointment you want to feel about it not working out for him to be a dominant two-way player in the league. I'll be as bummed as anybody about it because I think it's as exciting as anything we've seen coming to Jacksonville, maybe ever, right? Like them landing Trevor Lawrence and them making the trade to go get Hunter, those are kind of the 2 moments right, in franchise history with this kind of heat for a guy coming in. And what exactly is it going to look like long term? Well, we knew Trevor was going to play quarterback. It was just how good could he be?
Yeah, I think that moment was bigger to me. Just the reaction.
And then the Hunter
by
thing,
Jaguar fans.
two-way player, could be dominant doing both. We don't know. I don't know if every team in the league would have looked at him and given him that opportunity. I know Jacksonville was going to do it from the moment he got here. We want him to be that. We want to give him the opportunity to be that, and I think they still do. If it doesn't work out that way, we'll see how good of a player he turns into at one spot or the other, but I'm with you. I think it's still very much in play for him to do both. I think he's going to be a great corner for him this year, and we'll see how much they want to use him on offense on top of that.
The Browns got Mason Graham at 5. I believe they got Quinshon Judkins with what would have been the Jags' second-round pick, so he's presumed to be the starting running back. They got KC Concepcion in this year's draft with the first-round pick. And you can say, well, they got Dylan Sampson too. Well, the Jags actually moved up. They got the Jags pick, which was later. The Jags got Bajal Tootin in that deal. So the deal is Travis Hunter, Bajal Tootin versus Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Sampson in the backfield, KC Concepcion, and Mason Graham. And look, I get it. It's 4 bodies. You still have to spend more equity to replace those guys, but do you have to spend that kind of draft capital? Like, is there a world where if you needed Travis Hunter to be that, where he could be that lockdown corner and he could be KC Concepcion on offense? I think there is.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to need him to do that, but it'll be interesting to see if they get in a predicament injury-wise this year, how that shifts the focus of what Travis Hunter is asked to do and what they think he's capable of doing. But I'm with you. I don't think it's necessarily a failure if but he can't just be a nice corner.
He's got to be great.
He's got to be great. He's got to be, when we do these lists, and he made the list for ESPN at number 20 this year among cornerbacks, and he played a third of the snaps in half the season. Right? This is a pure projection that they're going on. And I get it. The raw material is there. We can kind of squint our eyes and see it already. But if Travis Hunter by this time next year is not considered a top 10 corner, and then quickly after that, I expect him to be considered a top 5, no doubt, in the conversation. Well, is he better than this guy? Is he better than this guy? Is he better than this guy? And you're like, well, it's kind of, I'll take 4th pick and I'll still do really well.
All-pro consideration. He's got that kind of
consideration.
Talent.
Right? And maybe he'll get it as soon as this year, but that is certainly what Bucky, the one Jaguar that he put on his old breakout team for defense for 2026. Coming up, we'll take a look at what CBS Sports has described as the biggest, most entertaining storylines for the various training camps in the AFC South. We'll kind of go around and look for the Jags. There is some mystery. What is going to happen here? But it's not a mystery as to whether the team is going to be very good. And I don't feel like there's a mystery as to how good the quarterback is going to be. You're seeing that now in all these lists. Even if Trevor Lawrence isn't as high as you'd like him, he's ahead of every quarterback in the AFC South, at least to this point in time. So you've got an edge, seemingly, on paper at least, at the most important position in football. Is that enough to separate the Jags from the rest of the field? We'll discuss when we return in a moment. Don't forget today's question of the day on which player that we gave you, either the top 2 running backs or BTJ or Parker Washington, is most likely to hit double digits in touchdowns. We'll give you our votes and let you know how that poll's rolling as well as we continue along here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Sports, sunshine, and First Coast attitude.
Like summer, it feels like
1010XL, your summer station.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Jaguars Today.
You're settled into a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
It's here, Middleburg. Firehouse Subs is now open at the all-new Clay Town Center. Try the bold new steak and cheese melt, stacked with premium steak, melted cheese, and big flavor in every bite. Firehouse Subs at the Clay Town Center, open now.
Attention men and women. If you'd like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. The sound of a seatbelt. It's one of the most important sounds in our car. It means everyone is ready and everyone is safe. The more our kids see us put on our seatbelts, the more natural it is for them to put theirs on too. Make it a priority. Buckle up every time. Hear the sound? Make it a habit.
Paid for by NHTSA.
I'm Matt Lennon with AB Signs. Every day, your company vehicle is on the road. Is it bringing you customers? I turn trucks, trailers, and storefronts into powerful advertising. Make your business impossible to miss with AB Signs.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
Hey, Googans, Hicken here. You want to win wings from Mr. Chubby's or tacos from Taco Lou? How about some chocolate from Peterbook? All we need you to do is tell us more about you by filling out the 1010 listener survey at 1010XL.com. What kind of vehicles do you drive? Are you a business owner? What part of 1010XL do you like the most? We want to get to know you better so we can serve you better. Go to 1010XL.com, fill out the survey, and you could be a winner.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
I mean, clearly, the golden moment is the coming together of the triumvirate here. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. You can assign them how you see fit, ladies and gentlemen.
All it took was JJ having a baby.
Yeah, just have a baby. Just a common occurrence, everyday occurrence. And JJ's wife, his beautiful bride, Blake, right? If I'm not mistaken, is his bride's name. I don't believe I've ever met her. To be honest with you, I'd keep her away from me too, not for any reason other than nobody needs to take me on as a new friend at this point in time, really. Anyway, we got ET this week, or Tony will have ET this week. Tony Smith is back. You and I have seen very little of each other over the last month or so.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way we like it.
It's that season.
And it's that season, but we'll have it all hitting the ground running, and it'll only be a few weeks away from, going with the whole lineup for the fall. I talked to DG the other day. He's ready to roll for another season, and Jeff Loggeman and John Ozier and Mike DeRocco, and of course Tom McManus and In the meantime, going to have plenty coming up for you this week. Tony's got Jamal St. Cyr coming in for a couple of shows.
Yeah, I'm chatting with Logs tomorrow.
So. Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
How about that? All right. Well, a little training camp preview. CBS doing their own training camp preview. We'll go through the other teams here in the AFC South. And it's kind of like issues to watch, storylines, however you want to phrase it. Right? A lot of this repackaged stuff. But for the Texans, revamped offensive line and the run game.
O-line, yep.
Right? I mean, O-line is new players. Are they going to be significantly better? As one other piece put it, might have been over at NFL.com. Okay, you got the Thunder of David Montgomery, but he paired well with the Lightning of Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Woody Marks is not exactly Jahmyr Gibbs. Is there enough breakaway potential in that backfield? Do you need it if you've got a defense that is going to be one of the lowest scoring units in terms of points allowed in the National Football League? Maybe not. But, you know, David Montgomery hasn't been the front end of a backfield in several years. I think he probably has enough left in the tank, you know, barring injury, that it's not, you know, like anybody can get hurt. But in terms of getting worn down, I think he's got at least one more good season,
I would think,
in him. But he doesn't scare me. Not that the Jags backfield should scare anybody, right? They're like, dude, man, he's got that 4.32 speed. All right, well, he didn't show it last year.
Yeah.
He had a 15-yard run, his long run of the regular season. So, granted, do we think he can do more? Yes. But I think it's reasonable if other teams are looking at this team going, that's an area of the team that we can shut down on game day.
Sure, and it makes sense from a NFL historical perspective. Generally, teams that can play defense the way the Texans appear to be ready to play defense, if you want to actually feature that, you need to be able to run the ball, right? Like it just so that you can actually completely control a game,
to fully take advantage of what you're able to do.
And last year they obviously weren't equipped to do that. So yeah, it makes sense that the big questions for the Texans are: can they run? Like, how effective is Montgomery going to be doing that behind that offensive line? Well, they put a bunch of ammunition into trying to fix that offensive line this offseason. Like we're talking about are they going to be okay at running back here in Jacksonville? That's the big question for Houston. Are we going to be okay on the offensive line? We saw what happened with Stroud in the playoffs.
Right. I mean, to me, he is the much bigger question on this team than their running game. He missed 3 games last year, okay? And he threw for just over 3,000 yards. So it wasn't like he was averaging 300 a game out there, okay? So the likelihood is he would have fallen way short of 4,000 yards. He threw for only 19 touchdowns last year. Trevor Lawrence puts up these numbers. He's being just castigated, based on where he went in the NFL draft, right? And now the question is, C.J. Stroud's struggles have to do directly with the offensive line? Somewhat, I'm sure, right? But he doesn't look like the same player he was when he burst on to the scene with 23 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
His ability to extend plays that rookie year and throw the ball downfield with
pinpoint
crazy accuracy. Like, it just hasn't been the same in those kind of moments. It doesn't feel like the last couple of years, but you can still, like, I have his stats pulled up here in front of me right now. His completion percentage was the best of his career last year. It wasn't by much, but it just beat out his rookie year, 64.5 to 63.9. But I watched him play, and when I did, I was like, where's that magic stuff he was doing in those big moments? Just didn't feel like it was there for them a lot in the offense last year. Can they get that back? Maybe, if the offensive line is better.
Let's hope not. Travis Hunter will be waiting for those aerials. For Indianapolis, it's the recovery of Daniel Jones, which makes sense. Let's not forget, they were the team that was bum rushing the AFC South last year. And, look.
They were the toast of the whole conference for the first half of the year.
Right. And there were a lot of, is it fool's gold? Is it not?
Yeah.
But they were playing great.
Yep.
And then Daniel Jones got hurt against the Jags. Look, I'm going to assume the Jags would have won anyway, because that's what they do. They beat the Colts, right? I wasn't fearful of this team last year, even watching them win all these games. And is it likely that Daniel Jones is as effective coming off a torn Achilles in his first year back?
Right.
Probably not likely. But maybe, they just lean a little bit more on Jonathan Taylor. I don't know how much more you can lean on him. One of the pieces over at NFL.com talked about their wide receiver core, like Josh Downs, nice slot receiver. Who's really the number 2? And is Alec Pierce ready to be a full-time number 1? Oh, well, look at his numbers last year. Well, look at Brian Thomas's numbers 2 years ago, Doesn't always go that way. It's not always a linear progression. Right. And then same thing with Tennessee, the development of Cam Ward, right? So you've got in Houston, they're looking at the offensive line, which directly is going to be related to the quarterback production. And we think, to me, C.J. Stroud's the biggest question mark with that team. And clearly with Tennessee and Indy, they're both putting the quarterback front and center. One, because he's returning from injury. Two, because Cam Ward's still such a young player.
Yep.
And how much of a leap will he take? For the Jags, it's Travis Hunter, and they're going to utilize him. The point being, I don't look at this quarterback here in Jacksonville, and I don't have many questions about him, Tone. I just don't. I think, the one question is, can Trevor Lawrence stay healthy and maintain that level for most of a 17-game schedule? I'm not going to say he can never have a bad game, okay, because that's unrealistic generally. But can he play? Can he give you that feeling going in like you had down the second half of last season? Like, we're going to hang points today. It doesn't matter if it's Denver, doesn't matter who it is. We're going to hang points on this team, and Trevor Lawrence is generally going to play at a very high level, which that half season propelled him into at least the top 5 of the MVP conversation.
I think this list kind of reflects something we talked about when the Jags finished up mini camp and their offseason work, right? Like, we had the conversations about what were the big stories coming out of it. And I had mentioned, I do think one of the big stories is that Trevor Lawrence wasn't a big story. And you see it kind of reflected in these kind of articles that are coming up within the division where everyone else is trying to figure out what's going on with our quarterback and what can we do with it.
100%.
And in Jacksonville, there's this level of comfort with him going into year 2 in this offense, year 6 in the league, that everyone's like, oh, they're fine there. We have other questions about that team, but quarterback set, right? And it's been a long time since Jacksonville, maybe ever. Like the late 90s, a little bit of that with Brunell and the kind of run that they were on at that point in time. But it's been that long since there's been this kind of comfort at the quarterback position here in Jacksonville. But it feels real.
Like, it feels real to me.
Yeah.
It feels real to you. If you're a fan out there going, hey, look, I haven't seen it for a full season yet, that's fine. Like, because your feeling about it is no greater than our feeling about it, and none of those feelings are going to impact anything when it comes down to the bottom line. I don't feel good. I think it's going to go well because of the presence of Liam Cohen and his influence on Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor has to have the raw material, but Liam is the sculptor who's bringing that raw material. He's taking that lump of clay or marble and he's shaping it into something that you go, aha, now it resembles what I expected it to look like when we took him with the number 1 overall pick. One final segment to go. We'll take a dive in on today's question of the day. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Hey guys, Prosser here. When you need new windows or doors, you want high-end quality without the middleman markup. That's exactly why I'm telling you about Cash Building Material. Same premium materials, same beautiful finishes, but at a price that actually makes sense for your home. No subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. Get a quote today, thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Jaguars Today.
Frank Frangie here for my friends at Coyle Fencing. You've heard me talk about our Bregan baseball complex with walk-off charities and we needed a batter's eye. Nobody knew how to do it. Coyle figured it out and it is great. Since then, Coyle & Sons has completed hundreds of projects, including most recently our football fields at Fort Family Park. The bottom line is they do everything. They do it well. It looks great. I trust Coyle & Sons. You can too. Since 1927, they've been getting it right. CoyleJacks.com. C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. That's where you find them. A proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, what's the matter? I came right over.
It's my water, Jason. Smell this.
Yeesh.
That came out of my tap, Jason. I'm worried there's a lot more in there than just H and 2 and O.
Well, yeah. In Jacksonville, we have some of the hardest water in Florida. There's calcium carbonate in there and magnesium sulfate and...
I'm sorry, calcium... what now?
It's the same stuff that makes those cool stalactites in caves.
Well, it's making my shower all powdery, my tap's all crusty, and caves make me claustrophobic.
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing, and our water treatment experts will do a free water quality test. We'll check for minerals, bacteria, anything that might make your water smelly or damage your plumbing or appliances.
And if it's bad, you can fix it?
Your glasses will come out cleaner, your shampoo will lather better.
I like a good lather, Jason.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Renovations are underway at the golf club at Southampton, but that doesn't mean you still can't come out and hone your game. The practice facility is open Tuesday through Sunday with a great membership offer to work on your game year-round. Log on to golfsouthampton.com or check out their Facebook page. Work on your tee game, iron play, shots around the green, and of course your putting. It's all there and a great way to stay fresh until they unveil fresh new greens in October. Check it all out at the golf club at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY.
Celebrate the month of July with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129 and take $75 off air duct cleaning as well. Hickett here. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Take advantage of the savings.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Awaken 180 clients have just reached the 1 million pounds down mark. 1 million pounds. A city of people. That's thousands of people who reclaim their lives the easy way, the medication-free way. What's stopping you? Awaken180weightloss.com.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now is the moment we've been waiting for. With new treatments emerging in the fight against Alzheimer's and dementia, now is the time for hope and action. Held in over 600 communities nationwide, the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest fundraiser for care, support, and research to fight the disease. So get out, get moving, and join the Walk to End Alzheimer's, November 7th, downtown Jacksonville. Join the movement at alz.org/Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
That was nice. What was that little notification there, E?
Probably got an email.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I do my rejoins from YouTube, but you never know when you're going to get an email or something. Miss Michelle yelling at me or SEC Media Days going on, so Jacob's sending emails like, come on, y'all, I'm trying to rejoin.
Right? We're trying to produce a program here. Get off my back and send an email after 12 noon today. All right? I'm trying to speak for E, who can quite clearly speak for himself. But today we asked which of these Jaguars most likely to score 10 or more touchdowns in 2026. Alphabetically, Chris Rodriguez, Brian Thomas Jr., Basil Tootin, or Parker Washington. E, that'll lead off, man. Which one of these guys is going to score 10 or more touchdowns this year? Who's most likely?
Yeah, it's comeback season, man. BTJ. He's
comeback season.
He's going to have that season that he had his rookie year and prove that he is the Jaguars' #1 receiver for real.
All right. Brian Thomas Jr., Tony Smith, who do you nominate as the best candidate?
Tootin, he already scored 7 as a rookie.
He did?
Yeah. So I'm not saying that he's going to pick up all the H-hand slack, but I think he's going to pick up more of it than anybody else. So
nobody getting 50% of the vote in this, by the way. Basil Tootin's at 46. I would handicap it like this. I would put Basil Tootin at the top, but I would put Brian Thomas next in this because he's shown us he can score 10. He's more likely to score in all different areas of the field. I think he's the most likely guy to be streaking behind the defense, and pulling away out of any of these guys. Not that Parker's slow, right? But he's not
certainly not slow.
No, he's not. But we haven't seen the breakaway from Tootin. Yeah. I do think that's in there. I might put Chris Rodriguez next. And Parker's got a lot of guys he's fighting with. So does Brian Thomas, in the wide receiver core. But, you get down there. I get the fact that Parker Washington is a great contested catch wide receiver. It is fascinating to me that only 3 players in the NFL had more contested catches And they're all much bigger body types than Parker Washington. So you can absolutely target him in the red zone, but Koziel could be a factor there. Brenton Strange going to be a factor there.
That feels like one of those hard-to-repeat stats to me.
What's that?
For Parker.
The
like
contested catches?
Yeah, to be at that kind of level in the league again, like in back-to-back years with everything we saw Parker do, especially the back half of last season. Like, that's the one that it's kind of the turnover stat for the defense. There are some of those numbers with the Jags going from last year to this year that I think are hard to repeat. That strikes me as one of those. Just given his size, for him to be that again in 2020, I still think he's going to be effective, but that's a really hard one to repeat.
I don't know. I think the percentage might come down, but he might have more opportunities.
Maybe.
So that kind of puts the raw number in that same category. And then if you include the potential for punt return touchdowns, I get why you'd go with Parker Washington, who, by the way, came in second or currently second in this poll. Bajal Tootin, 46%. Parker about 24.5%. Brian Thomas at 17%. And Chris Rodriguez, who may be the goal line carrier for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, there's a world where Chris Rodriguez easily scores like 12 rushing touchdowns on this, or 12 combined touchdowns, maybe one or two receiving, all the rest coming at the goal line, if he is that good in that particular environment.
Yeah. Like the Tootin pick is assuming he's taking over the HN role.
I don't think he's going to necessarily have it to that degree.
Right. That's kind of what we think could happen with the team going into this season, but those two guys in the backfield carving out whatever they're going to carve out of the backfield pie, we don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet.
All right, let's say hello to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
One of the beautiful things is we won't have to guess what it all looks like very soon as we get training camp opening up next week. Joe C in the house.
It's funny because we'll see the guys we haven't been able to see.
Oh, it's unplugged.
Your microphone.
Someone unplugs the mic.
They do this
every
all
now
the
and
damn
then.
time.
I don't understand.
I don't either. I mean, you sounded fantastic to me. ET's looking around like, I know I've got the button pushed correctly. There you go. Oh, there you are. Hello.
ET, if you do this to me again.
Bro, I'm over here like, it's on.
It's always the people on the weekend, man. You gotta lock things down
They don't
tight
even
for the
move the
weekend
mic.
crew.
They just unplug
They
it.
unplugged the microphone like, hey, we'll get them with this one, I guess. I don't know. And they did.
But what I was going to say is that all the guys we've been talking about that we haven't been seeing, we still may not see 100%, but we'll still be.
No, but
Cole
at least
Van Lantas, the Travis Hunters, the Rodriguez.
we'll see pecking order.
Mhm.
We'll see who gets first reps. We'll
Yep.
see how that plays out. And look, it was a certain way. It was Tank Bigsby getting backfield reps, for instance, most of the offseason last year.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah, the starter was OR, all caps. It was for the linebacker, for the running
Right, this
back.
or that.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And maybe for the safety position. There were three of them that were really good battles. Maybe you could include a lineman there. But anyway, yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about.
It's coming up. I know you've got media days to cover, SEC media days, to look back at the World Cup and the British Open, I would imagine, today.
All sorts. Yeah, Ryan Fox, what a great way to finish the Open. Little known, but a major win.
Yeah, do you agree with Jeff Prosser that this is congratulations, Ryan Fox, on your one major championship that you'll ever win?
I think, look, the dude has won. He didn't turn pro until, I think, in his mid-20s. He was a rookie at 37. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm going yes with Prosser 100%. This guy's not winning another damn major in my lifetime.
But like Wyndham Clark is a good example because people didn't think he would win again, and he's now won 2 U.S. Opens.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're right. Hey, look, that's why we watch. We don't know the outcome, Joey.
Right.
Have a great show.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, there he goes. Joe Cowart. Never met a comb that he did. Well, not today, anyway. Like this guy coming in here. Didn't he look kind of shaggy today? Like,
a little bit.
He looked like he came, I don't know, right off the tennis court or something, man.
That's what it looks like when you avoid I-4. You just celebrate with Skip Hair Day.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's not doing the Tampa trip for the SEC Media Days.
That's
He's just
true.
like, here we go. We're letting it hang out today.
Every day is Skip Hair Day for me. So have a good week, Tony Smith.
You too,
I'll
man.
be out until next week.
Yeah.
And much to the delight of all out there. But you'll have ET in with Tony all week long. Some great guests like Jamal St. Cyr, of course, Tom McManus coming up on Friday. I will see you. We'll be on the eve of training camp.
Yes, we will.
When I return. So for Tony Smith and for ET, thanks for playing along today. I'm Mike Dempsey. I'll talk to you in a week right here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.